Okay, State Farm, I'm right back where I started, but now I've got the iPad. The phone storage is full. I can't even take another video on it. But this is the level of impact that we are looking at strung out across the roof for damage that has already been equated for. And I'm not sure what the total count is. I know that when we came here for initial inspection, you know, most of this, if not all of it, was documented properly in the report. And it's just a matter of, hey, maybe we walked over one or two or three, but the total number that I have here, just for all of this back slope, including over here, is 35 wind damage shingles that are either missing or creased by the wind that must be repaired or replaced, right? Here's a prime example of number 22, but in order to replace this, I obviously got to cut more into the roof, which is going to impact. So all of these boxes and quadrants are labeled to support the measure of the impact that would actually equate for, right? So look in here. This is a wind damage shingle that I know was placed inside of the file. This is a wind damage shingle. How are we supposed to repair this? This is on a back slope. How are we supposed to repair this without ripping the whole ridge off of this roof to achieve it, right? Like, what are we supposed to do there? You can't just equate for that shingle in the form of this repair and say, hey, repair that, because you have to tear up sections of the roof in order to do it, right? So same with over here, right here. How am I going to do this successfully without having to impact this level of aluminum flashing, right? And do everything per code, per requirement, per compliance standards of this repair. Here's one we may or may not have walked right over, but it's very hard to see. Like, look, number 27, look at this. You could literally walk right over top of it, and this is right here by all this flashing on the backside, which would then need, you know, ice and water shield going all the way down as well. Here we got 17 right next to it. I know this one was equated for, right? Number 16 right next to that. Look at this. Number 13. This is going to go right over the seal of the ridge. Look, missing right here next to this fan. Number 26, that's right next to the chimney flashing as well. How are we supposed to repair this without tearing off this whole section to do it? Same over here. Got impact, impact, impact all over the place. My control group. Now look at this. Strung out all over. Here, missing. Number 4 goes right up into the seal of the ridge we have to tear off in order to repair it successfully. Here is number 5. Right, I don't know if this one, you can almost walk right over top of it, but it's solid, right? Number 7, right next to that. Number 6, right underneath of that. Look at this, like repairing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is like ripping up this whole section of roof. Now we got another one, 6. Oh, look, another one right up underneath of it, right? How do we do this repair successfully without, you know, literally taking apart half the roof in order to do it, if not more, and then leaving other areas not addressed, subject to further encouraging damage in the future, which what? Then they receive a repair order for another 60 some shingles directly under the cost of their deductible? Like, what sense does that make? All of this is spread out so much that in order to do the job properly, you are ripping up squares of this roof to do so successfully, right? And I'm not even started all the way over here. Look at this whole section, boom, right here, right next to the seal of the ridge. How do we repair that? Look at the condition of these shingles before. So here's a damaged one. I'll take a damaged one. Look at the condition of these shingles. All right, so this is obviously damage. It was reported to be repaired or replaced. Please tell me how you repair this successfully on a damn near 25-year-old 3-tab builder grade shingle, regardless of the fact of whether or not you've got a color that would measure some semblance of uniform appearance to repair it with, right? Like, how do you do so? Look at the condition of this roof. Look at the areas of damage that are completely strung out like a coloring book all over the place. And how do you do so, right? The form of this demolition, you guys got to have some sense of construction here to do this amount of demolition and repair is literally tearing up. Like it's actually less expensive for that to do the whole slope, right? It's less expensive for us to come in, rip this whole slope off, do it proper, making sure that we're indemnifying the homeowner from covered loss, and then making sure that the job is done properly to remove any form of liability in the future that State Farm would also have to cover then because the job is not done correct. Who wants that? Why would a homeowner who has paid into their premiums for over 40 years want to lower the value of the home by having these domino repairs that are ripping up entire sections of their roof? What sense does that make? What sense? Please tell me. Tell me. I'm here to work respectfully to find the best solution. You know, you probably got a dartboard with my face on it, throwing darts at it in my name. You know that I have been working hard and doing things right and documenting properly all of these conditions, right? This is justified. This is just one of those ones that you can look at and be like, yeah, that makes a hell of a lot of sense to replace the roof in full rather than doing this level of spot repair. Then alone, who is doing this spot repair all over this roof that is literally going to have to tear up? Oh my God, who is going to do this spot repair on a triple layer roof? And just so you can see, it's not just triple layer over there, right? Triple layer roof. Who is going to do it? And should the homeowner potentially get fined for violating building codes and compliance to do it? Should they lower the home value by having this, level of spot repair that will not even hold up? That sections of this repair next year, the next storm, are just going to rip off the roof because it wasn't done properly, leave everything else around it, subjected to further incurring damages, or because the nails didn't even frickin' hold in the process of that repair to put a new shingle in it in the first place, right? Like, guys, we have to practice some level of, heartfelt common sense in a case like this where it is entirely justified. Your managers are not going to yell at you. You are not going to get fired for justifiably replacing a roof from State Farm's budget, right? This is not acceptable. This is one of those ones you just look at and say, oh, no shit. We should probably replace this whole roof and remove ourselves from any further liability in the future because it just makes sense, right? So this is just the assessment. This is the repairability assessment. I haven't even started the process of repair, which I'm about to document in full, every step of the way, using the proper tools and methods of the roof snake. And, our hammer, like I have done hundreds of times over again with State Farm in justifiable cases to demonstrate the repairability of the roof. I have been on a lot of roofs in my life. I've also been on a lot of roofs that are repairable. This is not one of them. This is not one of those cases where, you can look at it and say otherwise, right? It's well over 20 years old. It's a 3-tab shingle with 2 existing layers up underneath of it. The plywood probably can't even hold more nails. If the nails can even get through to secure and fasten a new shingle. And that's not even documenting the level of repairability that would show if we actually broke the seal, removed the shingle, put a new one in, and put new nails in. What measure of impact is that going to make consequentially to the surrounding areas? This is one of those cases you just look at it and you say, okay, yeah, not only has this homeowner paid for over 41 years into our premiums, but it just makes sense to replace the roof in full. Thanks. I'm going to get started on this repair and we will submit all documentation. The homeowner is specifically involved. We've had multiple conversations based around this. Let's get this done. Let's find the best solution so that we can take care of people the right way. Thanks.